Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 239 of the J Situation Podcast. I'm recording this on November 26th, 2024. How are all you wonderful folks doing? Yeah, Thanksgiving's right around the corner. When this podcast uploads, you will have T-minus 1 day until turkey and stuffing and corn on the cob and pumpkin pie and hot rolls and all kinds of wondrous things to eat, which is cool. Man, I'm telling you, this podcast almost didn't happen. I've been under the weather, and I totally thought I was on the mend. I thought I was okay. Boy, was I wrong. No, I couldn't have been more wrong. Gave it an old college try, though, and actually went to the hospital yesterday. Those folks are awesome. I tell you what. Persevered. Not only is this episode on time, but also the rugged Obsidian 9 data is being published. Yeah. Hey, did you guys know this? I was thinking about this. Did you know that oftentimes the hospital is way faster and more effective than like just going to a normal doctor? Apparently. Big fan. Yeah, so shout out to you medical professionals working the holidays. You're the real MVPs. Some of you have waited literally years for this Obsidian 9 article. And I would like to thank you for your patience. Does it matter if you use the 9mm version of this silencer compared to using the 45 version of this silencer? I would say that, yeah, it can matter for sure. Now, you also got to ask yourself, well, what about the long and short configurations of both? And do those matter? Well, spoiler alert, more than you could possibly imagine, actually. I'll give a quick intro for you on today's episode, and we'll do the technical discussion for the prolific rugged Obsidian 9 next week, okay, after the Thanksgiving turkey has settled and you all have time to argue and strangle each other about it. So, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, and we're glad to have you. There are timestamps in the episode description for you to skip to wherever you would like. But if you would like to hang around with me a little bit longer, I'm going to quickly speak to you about the companies who make this podcast possible. For example, one of those companies is Legion Athletics. Nothing you do, exercise, sports, really anything is worth doing without consistency. Whether it's, lifting, swimming, research. You have to do things all the time if you really want to excel at them, right? Legion Athletics can help you with that. They have a lot of performance-enhancing supplements for you. Whey protein, pre-workout, post-workout, vitamins, minerals, creatine, all kinds of stuff. They have energy drinks now. It's wild. Do they have everything you need? Well, absolutely not. Like, they don't have antibiotics. I couldn't survive this week without those. Visit legionathletics.com. There's a link in the show notes. Code PewScience to save 20% off of your first order. If you do that and you keep using that code PewScience every time you order, no matter how many times you've ordered, you get double points, and you can use that same as cash to get 10% off everything going forward. So get strong. It's important. This episode is also brought to you by Silencer Shop. They've done a ton for the silencer industry and consumers. If you're a new dealer just looking to get started and sling some silencers, as they say, maybe you can't hold a lot of inventory, maybe you just want to maintain low overhead, I don't know, maybe you like their kiosk, Silencer Shop can help you out with that. You can do your fingerprints and photos electronically, and in turn you cut down on errors, you simplify your silencer purchasing process, you get a money back guarantee. It's pretty good. No transfer fees, no paperwork errors, just you and your silencer with no drama. Truly, your silencer ownership simplified. We're also sponsored by Top Gun Range Houston, H-Town. If you're passing through Houston, which a lot of you do because it's a really big hub for business in general, if you're just passing through and you have some time, it is worth going to check out their shop. So it's a really big indoor shooting range. They got 15 lanes, right? They also have the largest firearm rental fleet in the whole state of Texas, and you can rent pistols and rifles and shotguns and machine guns and silencers. Man, imagine renting a suppressed machine gun, shooting it, and then understanding what gas stack means. Then when you argue on the internet with people, you can be correct. Check out their firearm rental inventory on their website at topgunrange.com. You can also find Kyle at Top Gun Range on Instagram. He likes memes. Good guy. This episode is also brought to you by Capital Armory, because it's no secret that silencers are in high demand right now. They're everywhere, and right now the approval times are pretty quick. That's not always going to be the case, but right now they're pretty quick. So you combine these factors, and if you're not looking for options where to get silencers, you're not doing yourself a good favor there. You know what I mean? Capital Armory is here to help you with that. I just want to remind you that they are a resource, and they also have a unique twist. Not only do they have a large selection of silencers and, of course, help you with the painful paperwork like all these great dealers, they can actually ship your silencer directly to you, which is pretty nuts. If you live in one of the states, the 42 states, where silencers are legal, you can order a silencer in your living room and have it shipped directly to that same living room, which is bonkers. It really is that easy. Capital Armory, silencer shipped directly to your door. Finally, this podcast is brought to you by the Pew Science Laboratory. I'm the technical director of the lab. And in the interest of public education, the lab sponsors this podcast and runs a public research effort which continues to push the silencer industry forward, one test at a time. Visit pewscience.com for the suppression rating, the simplest and most accurate hearing-safe ratings for your suppressed small arms based on true human inner ear response of the entire gunshot from before combustion takes place all the way until all the combustion is gone. Pew Science is the home of the silencer sound standard. Independent operation. We do not design, make, manufacture, sell, or distribute silencers. We are an independent laboratory. We created the standard with 7 sections to contain the most in-depth and accurate silencer data analysis in the entire world, which is all available to the public 24/7 at pewscience.com. And you can support this podcast. You can support Pew Science, all the public testing that we do by joining with a membership at pewscience.com. That's really what you need to do. I mean, that's what keeps the lights on. There's a donate function, too, on the review page and the podcast page, just like a one-time thing. If you're into that, that's awesome. It's tax deductible, bro. But you know what? If you don't want to contribute monetarily, which you totally don't have to, you can just throw us a bone, like and subscribe on the YouTubes or the Facebooks or the, Spotify or everywhere you get this podcast. Just spread the word. Let folks know that silencers and guns are awesome. You can normalize the use of suppressed small arms. It'll be great. Okay, I've got 2 topics for you on this wondrous holiday episode. Topic 1: Thanksgiving is almost here, so I want to talk about some things you might be thankful for. Maybe particular silencer innovations to be thankful for. I don't know. There could be some. Let's talk about that real quick. Just get your juices flowing. And then topic 2, it's Sound Signature Review 6172. The rugged suppressors Obsidian 9 on the HKP30L. Long configuration and short configuration. Oh my goodness. 2 tests. Long awaited? Absolutely. Worth it? I mean, maybe. Chances are you've shot this, so hopefully this gives you some good performance peg points. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the introductory discussion for today's publication, so we'll do that in topic 2. Okay. Topic 1, we'll move into at a time of 8 minutes. And 34 seconds. Close enough. Guys, I'm telling you, men, right? We don't go to the doctor unless we're dying. Turns out, no, so seriously, I was so desperate. I was like, I guess I got to go to the ER. So stupid. Stupid, weak body. Susceptible to infection. It's like, come on, man. We have AI. We don't have Skynet yet, in the Terminator sense. So it's like, well, where's the gap between Terminators trying to kill us and bioenhancement so I don't get sick? Shouldn't there be a stopgap between, soft human tissue and living tissue over endoskeleton? Topic 1. Thanksgiving is almost here, and I wanted to talk about being thankful for stuff. I was thinking about this as I prepped for this episode about 20 minutes ago. And literally 20 minutes ago. And I was thinking, what am I thankful for in 2024 when it comes to silencers? And first of all, I'm thankful for you folks listening, I mean, that's an obvious one, right? I hope that's obvious. I'm extremely thankful for all you supporting members who make it possible. That's huge. I'm also thankful for the manufacturers who trust us to do third-party performance validation. That's really an honor. All you really help make PScience what it is. So, I think everyone together is probably like, I'm very thankful for all of you. It's such a great community. No matter the negative stuff you see anywhere in life, there's like really good people out there, right? And when you get all the good people together to support something good and you see it so much, it just like highlights the good in humanity. And I've been so impressed with it. It's just so freaking cool. So yeah, thanks for, all your help and support over the almost 5 years so far. It's amazing. And, I just wanted to say, it is important to note that at the end of the day, PScience does work for the consumer. Okay. We don't work for the dealers or the silencer companies or the distributors. Okay. Yeah, we offer independent laboratory performance validation. That is one thing we offer. Absolutely. But the lab is insulated from industry influence. Okay, so we're not on the take here, guys. We don't employ silencer company employees, and we're not owned by silencer companies. All right? Like, this is a purposeful fail-safe, and you best believe we have turned down offers to violate this many times. Okay, we do not design, manufacture, or sell silencers. We also do not participate in, and we refuse to participate in, anti-consumer collusion. Does that happen in the silencer industry? Yes. Okay. So it's important, guys. Like, you really gotta, you guys are so enthusiastic and so great. I need you to understand how important it is how important your support is and how much I mean it when I thank you. Like, there's never been anything like this. Trust. Okay? The historical record shows there has never been anything like this ever in silencers. Facts. And the fact that you guys have made it possible, I am thankful for that in ways, and I think other people are thankful for it in ways that you could not possibly comprehend. And you know what? All those people that we say we don't work for, they're thankful too. A lot of these manufacturers, yeah, they're not thankful. Why do you think? But a lot of the manufacturers are thankful. And that a lot of the dealers are thankful, and a lot of the distributors are thankful, right? Just because they aren't all thankful doesn't mean none of them are. Okay, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. All right. So, what else? Let's keep talking about thanks. I was talking about, like, in my brain here, I was like, in my like fever delusions, I was like, what particular silencer technologies am I thankful for? I was just like, man. I was thinking my list is probably a little bit different than for some other folks. And I think I'm most thankful for the opportunity to test a lot of hybrid designs. And I know that's a really niche thing, but maybe it's not. I think we hit a plateau in silencer design like quite a long time ago. And I don't think that was going to move much. And I don't think we were going to get out of that rut until we even found the rut, so we understood what was causing the rut. It's like if you were in a rut with a wheelbarrow and you wanted to turn right and you were trying, but I don't know, maybe like for some reason you couldn't look down, so you didn't know there was a rut. I'm trying to use an analogy that's easy, but it's like, I don't think PScience necessarily took us out of the rut. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not taking credit for that at all. But I'm saying I think we helped expose the rut to the general silencer community. I think we helped that, and you helped that. Like, so now it's actually not very common for something to come across my desk that's like traditionally baffled, like a traditionally baffled rifle silencer with super high back pressure. Like, that just doesn't happen. I don't know if that's because like companies still making those know what's going to happen, or like, I don't know. I mean, we already know what's going to happen, right? Like, you already know what's going to happen. I mean, there are exceptions, right? There are exceptions, but it just less, and it doesn't. It's not like it doesn't happen, but it's less common. It's less common. I think most of the manufacturers coming to us for testing are usually doing at least something to change the performance from typical paradigms, and I am thankful for that because it shows advancement. It makes the job a lot more interesting, which is like something to be thankful for, right? It exposes us to a lot of new and really interesting silencer models. And again, it's not only from like new companies, it's from established companies that just learn stuff. And that helps you see just how far you've come or how far you've not come, really with regard to innovation, right? And there's a word. There's a word that, like, probably 5 years ago or so started being used way too much in marketing in the firearm and silencer industry. If I could tell you how many times someone used the word innovation, and it's like, man, that's a strong word, right? A strong word. Like, because innovation is definitely real, but quantifying innovation is also real. And I think it's just as important as the innovation itself, right? To claim innovation is great. Prove it. I think separating marketing from reality is really important in general. I think that's in the spirit of peace science. I think that's why we started. So I started thinking about that. Then I started thinking about, well, what else is something I'm thankful for along those lines? And it's system advancement from industry companies, specifically from engineering teams that are really advanced. And I have been so impressed with the engineering I've been seeing out there from some of these companies. And I can say that objectively, really. Remember, I do not make silencers, so I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm saying this, like, objectively, I'm saying this. Like, let me give you an example of why that's important. So, like, okay, marketing lingo, right, in the silencer industry. It ranges from everything like super secret squirrel, dark magic, to Hollywood quiet statements, to, oh, it's hearing safe, to, oh, this is low back pressure when it's not low back pressure, or, you name it, right? Yeah, you name it. You name it, a silencer company said it, right? We've heard it all. 30 years of this stuff. So, for sure, there are some insane things said by some marketing departments. No question, people with concern about that are completely justified. Like, yes, complete insane gobbledygook sometimes, like, for sure. But at the same time, there are companies in this space that are using engineering principles and design methods that are far more advanced than some other companies understand they are. Like, full stop. And I'm not talking about, like, than some old companies understand. I'm saying there are companies right now doing things with engineering and computational analysis that their competitors have no idea about and probably think isn't real. And I would highly caution those people to be extremely careful with that. It's not new, and this has actually happened in the silencer industry for quite some time here and there. You just don't know because how would you know? Because they're a lot of the companies don't talk about it, and I think this year in particular, you've actually seen it much more than you think you've seen it. Some of you. You've seen companies like Surefire, PTR, CAT, and there's others too. They're using design methods that are simply not being used by smaller companies with more limited development budgets. So those, like, it's not like this isn't reality or something. It's some companies have more money and talent and engineering talent. That's like you can make a paper airplane and you can make a fighter jet. Like there are levels to the game. And I'm not saying that some of these silencer companies are making paper airplanes, but you know what I mean? Like just because one company can't do something doesn't mean nobody can. Okay? And if there's any advice I could give to up and coming silencer companies, it's to know that. I'm not saying you need to be a PhD, but I'm saying if you don't think there are PhDs doing stuff that works, you're lying to yourself. Okay? And so, I was thinking about this, and I was like, this is so cool. I mean, the fact that we're here to witness this is awesome. Like, no, seriously though, like on a personal note, me seeing folks do things that we do in other industries to solve problems, like bringing that method of problem solving to the silencer industry is awesome. To me, personally. I don't care what some of the companies think. I care what I think because what I do is like in other industries, right? So I'm like, wow, this is advanced. I'm not sure as many companies were doing this before. This is advanced. Okay. I get encouraged when I see things like this, you know? So I'm very thankful for that. You know, and the more I thought about this, because, you know, you see, I've seen some really funny things recently, actually, because, you know, I look at it all, right? Performance and marketing too. I just don't write about the marketing, and I see things, and I would also say, you know, marketing works both ways. So, like marketing fluff, you know, which is, hey, don't get me wrong, marketing is great. It's like important. It's important, you know, but marketing fluff usually misleads people. But there's also marketing fluff that takes a contrary view that can be just as misleading. And you really got to be careful out there. And I will say this, never forget why Pew Science started. Never forget. Always consider the source when you hear silencer companies slinging mud at one another. Always consider the source. They'll do it actively, they'll do it passively. Like they'll be direct or they'll be very passive aggressive. It happens. This is not new. It's happened for 30 years. Always remember, they are trying to sell silencers. They do not care about anything else. They are not here to help you. They are not here to be your friend. They're here to sell you a silencer or sell a dealer a silencer. That's it. Don't become subjected to make-believe land, guys. I know you think your latest hero is running a silencer company. They're not your hero. Okay, they're selling you a product. And so it works both ways. So you got to remain vigilant. Okay, remain vigilant. Don't fall for stuff. Okay. Remember why we started this, guys. You can get fooled. No, I am thankful. I'm thankful the effort continues to pay dividends well after the initial concept was launched. You know, we've really had minimal changes to the operation since we started it. It's been cooking. I was thinking one thing I was really thankful for too is 3D printing becoming cheaper or maybe more common, or both. I guess both because they're related. But I was thinking, well, how many manufacturers have benefited from it, which is so, like, there's several, right, that continue to, like, some silencers using 3D printing they would never have used before. And like, think about Huxworks. Oh my, what a success story, right? How about 3D printing for Huxworks? Boy, did that help them. Boy, huge win for them, right? It's not perfect, but huge win for them, for their manufacturing and advancing their basic technology. Really thankful that all lined up. Imagine not having the printed Huxworks silencers. That would suck, right? Not being able to advance that technology further in like a scalable way. That would not be cool. So I'm super thankful for that. You know what else I'm thankful for? That freaking Knights Armament QDC mount. I just wish it leaked a little bit less. It's the index pin. It's so simple. I get it. It's like a really simple thing, but I just think the mount is cool. I like the ball bearings. I'm thankful. I know it's not a new thing. They've had the QDC for a while, but I'm thankful for it, not only because it's cool, but because it shows something. It shows an engineering solution that is so simple and so elegant. And I hope that seeing things like that assist with inspiration for other designers. Like, not necessarily to also use ball bearing detents, but maybe just to think outside the box a little bit. You know, the silencer industry has a lot of copycats, right? It's like copies of copies of copies of copies. It's so tiresome. Did you know if it wasn't like that, like, okay, if you're a member and you go to the suppression rating visualization tool in the member ranking section, you know, like the scatter plot, imagine what that plot would look like if folks didn't copy each other. Would you see more of a spread in certain regimes? Yeah, you would, right? Why? Well, things would be much more different. So there's only so much variation in some regimes. And why is that? Is it because it's really hard to make a silencer? Yeah, it is. But it's also because people are not original by and large. And so when I see things like the QDC mount, I'm like, man, that's at least a little bit out of the box. Maybe there's some other out of the box stuff people could come up with. You know? What other innovation could you think of? What other new thing? I mean, I see brand new silencer designs from companies that, to me, like, yeah, it's cool, but been there, done that. Am I jaded? I mean, maybe a little bit, but anyway, I don't want to go too far off on that tangent. I just want to say I am thankful for the Knights mount. I am thankful for the type of inspiration it may result in. Hey, you know what? Speaking of Knights, I'm also thankful for the 3D printed Inconel triple tap and the new NT4 PRG I bought to test it. No, I'm still waiting on the old NT4 to come in. I want to do triple tap testing with both those silencers back to back. I want to put them head to head. It's really one of the most niche, weird silencer curiosities ever desired. Like, no one cares about this, right? Like, at all. About, like, except for, like, me, a bunch of old guys that, like, want to know what the triple tap does, and Knights Armament weirdos, which is fine. We can all be autistic together, but I want to know. We're going to do it. But I'm thankful for that, because I feel like that plan's coming together. I know it's taking a long time, but you saw our Knights article, right? It's like 16 tests or something crazy. So we're in this for the long haul. So that was I'm thankful. Oh, speaking of, yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity to do stuff like that. Like all the silencer stuff that is loaned to us from dealers and users, and you guys loan us stuff to you know, sometimes we buy silencers to test, sometimes we borrow silencers to test, sometimes we're sent silencers to test by companies, and sometimes we give those back, sometimes they just sit in inventory until they need them again. It's all kinds of different ways, and I'm thankful for all those ways, and I'm thankful that we're able to do it. It's cool. And what else? Oh, right. The most important, I'm very thankful for my family. My family grew by 2 this year. Some of you know that. Yeah, twin babies. So without my family, I would not be able to perform the research. That is 100% true. They believe in me, and they push me forward, always. And they have extreme patience for my dedication to the lab and this unbelievably complex project that we set out to do almost 5 years ago publicly. Never been done before in the history of the world. And my family understood that and believed in it with me and for me. So I want to, I don't know if I've said that lately. So big ups to the fam. And for all of you listening, I hope that you are able to spend some time with your families this holiday. Very important. Family is everything. Don't ever forget that. Family is everything. So, now, I mean, that got kind of serious. Speaking of pro-consumer activities, and marketing lingo and reality, you know what we should do? We should talk about the Obsidian 9. Let's move into topic 2 at a time of 30 minutes. 29 seconds. Oh my God. You don't understand. When you have a really bad fever for like, I don't know, almost 2 weeks, does your brain get fried, dude? Like, maybe, bro. I don't know, dude. You're like, oh no, it'll totally go away. My immune system's super strong, right? Topic 2, Sound Signature Review 6172. Rugged Suppressors Obsidian 9 on the HKP30L. Long configuration and short configuration. 2 tests. Very long awaited. I bet you didn't think this was going to happen, huh? Yeah. Obsidian 9 is so popular. What a popular, it's like, you know, it's the cool kid in the high school, right? For like ever. Funny thing happened with this though. Well, it's funny. It's not funny. Ha ha. It's funny and it's funny in hindsight. Definitely was not funny at the time. So we bought an FDE, like a brown colored Obsidian 9 for lab inventory like years ago, like from Silencer Shop. We like just bought one. Okay. Brand new. Put it on an MP5, or more specifically an HK SP5 from HK, factory HK gun. Guns. Okay. You see where I'm going with this? Tested a bunch of times with a factory rugged 3-lug mount. Kept getting problems going on with it. I kept getting jacket separations. Just like, you know, like you shoot. You ever done this? Like those of you who are like super like experienced with silencers, you've probably done this where you're shooting a suppressed 9mm subgun or something, and you hear the whiz like off of an interference, like not downrange, but like from the gun. And you're like, and like, or you see like frags, you're like, something's not right. Like, so there's an alignment issue or something. You're like, oh my God. Inspect the silencer, like you dump the silencer out, there's like fragments coming out of it. You're like, oh my God, like is the barrel not concentric? But like, you know, it is, because you know it's an SP5 and you tested with like 6,000 different silencers and every silencer's fine except for the Obsidian 9. You're like, what? It's got to be the mount or something. But you know, you're busy, so you don't have time because you're running the lab. So you're like, nah, this is, and it's not like a client project. It's like just with member funding. And you're like, well, I don't have time to chase this right now. Let me get back to work. And you shelve it. So we shelved it for like a couple years because we got busy. Happens. Okay. Other stuff happens. The world doesn't, revolve around one thing, despite your idealistic desires. So, admittedly, I should have come back to it earlier. Now, I came back to it, in my mind, and the demand has just been so intense for this silencer. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? We never did solve that 3-lug issue, but I also never did see if this thing was acting up on a pistol. It was just the MP5. Sure enough, I put it on a pistol, completely fine. I was like, with this particular Obsidian 9, I'd shot Obsidian 9s before. Okay, this was not my first time shooting an Obsidian 9. I'm very familiar with the silencer, but this particular Obsidian, because I don't own like an Obsidian 9 of my own. I own a Obsidian 45, and you guys saw that tested in the standard early on. Like, that's my silencer. That's on a Form 4. I never owned an Obsidian 9, but I've shot my buddies' Obsidian 9s. And so on this one, I was like, well, let me shoot this lab inventory one on a pistol. And I never had an issue with it. And I was like, all right. No end cap strikes, no jacket separation, nothing like that. And I was like, okay. Like no baffle grazing. I was like, okay. So I was like, cool, bet. We'll do this. Let's just test it. Because like we had another program coming up. I was like, this is perfect. We'll use the member funding to get it done. We'll do it. And the 9mm handgun test, I think, sure, people use them on subguns, but I think 9mm handgun is like what the good Lord intended for the Obsidian 9. I think that's what it's there for, right? I mean, it comes with a piston, guys. Okay, this is a pistol silencer. So I know it was a long time coming, but hey, how about the Obsidian 9? Performs really, really well, actually. Like, I had forgotten like how good a silencer it is. Like, and when I say good, I mean I had forgotten how high the performance is. Really, like I don't know. You get busy, right? For what it is kicking butt, and it's quieter than pretty much anything we've tested other than the Cat SC and some stuff you haven't seen yet. I don't know if companies are going to be mad about me saying that, but it's true. If a company's mad about me saying that, well, there's a warning to you about that company, right? We don't like reality. It's scary. And you know what? We used member funding to do this. So what? The members are biased now? They paid us off. Those damn consumers paying us so their feelings wouldn't be hurt. Oh, cue the autistic screeching on the forums. So no, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. And also you should know, just being serious for a second, it is not all roses for the Obsidian 9. First of all, the back pressure is not low. Okay, it's not low back pressure. The rugged baffles, like the rugged baffle technology, it didn't like wake up all of a sudden and decide to bend space time and allow blast load reflections to pass through their solid curved cone walls. Like it didn't like all of a sudden advance in technology. Okay, it didn't go to Area 51. All right, sorry. It's a traditional technology silencer, and it behaves like one. Now, does it work well? Well, absolutely. Highly optimized. Check out the data. Okay, check out the article that's published today. Now, could it be better? Yeah, it could. Go back to the thankfulness discussion we just had in the previous topic. Okay, things can improve. Okay, we know that. Be thankful. Be thankful we know where we are. Be careful, or be thankful we know where we're going. Okay? Now, something you really need to know here, and this is something that people are going to claim to think they already know, but I've never really seen discussed in detail. The short configuration of this silencer has much lower performance. The long configuration, it's doing some work. When you remove that distal end, it's not just a little bit more severe, like with some other models. No, there's a reckoning. How much more severe is it? Please check out the article. No, really though. No, seriously. If you own an Obsidian 9, please check out the article. If you're thinking about buying one, please check out the article. I need you to understand the difference between long and short here. It's non-trivial. Please don't. If there's anything else you learn from this, just even if you just look at the colorful graphic at the top of the page, when you do that and you ooh and ah at the suppression rating and the big number, look at the detailed ratings, long and short, and then you'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, I know. Now you know my job is done. Now you want to learn more, read the whole paper. Awesome? Cool. Also that's neat, and I thought was cool, was comparing the performance of the Obsidian 9 to that of the Obsidian 45. Because, we tested that like early on, right? Like on the same gun. It's cool. I feel like in some ways, like we're looking into a time capsule with the rugged designs. And I guess in some ways we are. But now you guys have a great performance peg point for the pedigree. It's just like when we tested the AAC M4 2000, which is obviously even more prolific than this. I mean, yeah, like everyone knows how the AAC M4 2000 performs. It has one. But like knowing how it performs and then having it in the pedigree to give you that peg point if you don't have some of the other silencers is super valuable, right? The context is super valuable. So this will be here forever. So you can refer back to it and know that if you have an Obsidian 9, it's going to take XYZ performance like from something else to maybe push you to something else or stuff like that. Or maybe you use the comparisons for hazards to your other systems or whatever you use it for. However you use the information, I hope it helps you. Okay? So that's all I got, guys. We're getting this done. I got to finish the article publication stuff for tomorrow morning. Get that all wrapped up so we can launch on time for you. And I'd really like to thank you for listening. And I hope you get something out of this. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. Please eat, drink, and be merry with your loved ones. Very important. Please don't argue with them too much about silencers, though. You probably should if they're wrong. You have to demonstrate your power and dominance. No, just kidding. Stay safe. Stay warm. I'll talk with you folks again soon. All right, bye.